But if you close your eyes.
Hey guys, it's Brooke. So I feel like I have not filmed a sit-down video in so long. I've been so insanely busy, I literally have not had time to film, and now I have a bunch of free time, which is leading into what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about the coronavirus and how, it's affecting Worlds and Summit and all that stuff in the cheer world. So yeah, this video is going to be everywhere, but if you are disappointed about Summit or Worlds or unsure or just like stressing out, there will be some encouragement in this video, so I encourage you to continue to watch, and I hope that I make your day better. And yeah, okay, so I'm just going to start talking about this. So yesterday it was posted that Worlds was going to go on and Summit was going to go on, and as of right now, they're planning to proceed with it as planned. And then there was a bunch of, I wouldn't say backlash, but I know there's a lot of comments. For some reason, I'm in an IASF private Facebook group. I don't know why, but I am. And I just saw a lot of gym directors commenting on it and people concerned. And the main concern was that the state of Florida put a ban on any events containing more than 50 people, which obviously Worlds and Summit contain a lot more than that. So later last night at 10 p.m. or so, it was posted that Worlds and Summit were not going to proceed as planned. So I think that was really smart of them not to give a whole lot of details, because what they said was pretty vague, but it kind of has to be. They said that they're looking at other options such as postponing it or a virtual option, which obviously neither of those are a perfect solution, and there's not a perfect solution to this issue. How it affects my team personally, I'm honestly not even sure if we're going to proceed with trying to go to Worlds or whatever Worlds is. I haven't said this, but I'm actually not, I don't want to make this important in the video, but I'm not actually on my team. Technically, I was removed from Matt, but I'm also not an alternate, so I was basically removed from the team, simply just because I don't have the skills, which is fine. It's a large code level 7, so they want all the girls to fly. And I don't fly. Totally fine. I wasn't mad about it. That makes sense. Personally, my team is an open team. So say Worlds is postponed to, instead of April 25th, it's May 25th. Well, that late in May, all of our college kids who are freshmen can't live in their dorm, or maybe even people who aren't freshmen were living in an apartment and their lease ran up and they have to go home because the college town isn't their home. Or personally for me, if I was competing on Matt, I have a summer job, a summer internship all summer that starts May 15th. I wouldn't have been able to compete, and I'm sure that's true for a lot of kids, or adults, I guess, on open teams. They have got summer jobs, they've got leases ending, because cheer is a May to May commitment. It's a 12-month commitment, so postponing it is just really difficult because it's the world of cheer is on such a tight schedule that it's if we postpone Worlds, we have to postpone tryouts, and we have to postpone maybe the next comp season and postpone show-offs and whatever. And, obviously that's not a huge deal to, postpone those things for the purpose of having Worlds and Summit. But it affects people's lives outside of the cheer world. Like I said, summer jobs, people who moved across the country to be on certain teams, I'm sure in their head were well, this ends after Worlds, and Worlds is the last week of April, so starting in May I have this, or I have this, or I have to move home, or I have to get a new job, or I have to, I don't know, there's a world of possibilities. And then there's also a virtual, they said, maybe a virtual competition, which, in my opinion, I almost don't even have an opinion on that option, because I don't even know how that would work. I'm sure there's ways that it would work, but there's so many different ways it could work. Is it live streaming? What if Wi-Fi cuts out? Is it our team's still going to get together? Are the Texas teams going to get together and the teams in the North are going to get together? I have no idea how that would work. And they said they're exploring those options, which is great. I'm sure they're coming up with ideas that I wouldn't even think of. I don't know how that would work. Everything has changed so fast. Last Wednesday, I was just chilling and I was, oh, the coronavirus, yeah, I knew about it, but I wasn't worried about it. I had a mission trip planned, didn't think anything of it. And then that Thursday, the next morning, it was I got an email that my classes were going to be online and my spring break was extended. My mission trip was canceled. I'm supposed to be on it right now and I'm not. My church canceled. Things could change so rapidly. We might be overreacting to the coronavirus. We might be underreacting. There's no way to know. and everything we're doing right now is for the safety and health of the athletes and coaches and just the United States in general. And I want to kind of talk about how it affects athletes and coaches and people a part of the cheer world. So first of all, I want to say that if you're upset about Worlds being up in the air, Summit being up in the air, if you're upset about Daytona being canceled, if you're upset about ICU Worlds being postponed, those feelings are valid. I just think of when I was in the place, my cheer seasons, it was especially the last two, I was always like, man, my goal is Summit. I want to go to Summit. I want to go to Summit so bad. That's the goal. No, cheerleaders work so hard and coaches work so hard, and the possibility of the Worlds and Summit might not even happen is terrifying, and it's disappointing and it's upsetting. Something that's really important is that just because other people have it worse than you, it doesn't make you being upset about something less valid. That being said, there's a huge middle ground between making sure that you're not overreacting or being insensitive to those who are actually affected by the coronavirus or afraid that they will be because they have weak immune systems or they're elderly or they have babies or whatever it is. Such a middle ground there. Yes, you're allowed to be upset about it. Being upset should never equal insensitivity to people who are struggling more, but that doesn't mean they're not on the same wavelength. You're allowed to be upset about this. I totally understand that. I also want to throw this out there. About a year ago, I posted a video called Why You Shouldn't Be Obsessed with Cheer. It's my second most disliked video. However, I would really, really recommend you guys to watch that video at this time. And I say that not to be you guys need to get over it and stop being obsessed with cheer. I say that because I talk about how it's important to not make cheer your everything in that video, and I think that that's super relevant right now. Something I mentioned was, if cheer was to be taken away from you, would you be okay? And this is a perfect example. So I really, really recommend y'all watch that video. I'll link it down below. I just think it would help, and it's honestly one of my favorite videos I've ever made because it's just so important to me, because I have been through a time where I was obsessed with cheer and it became an idol to me, and it was my world, it was my end-all be-all, and if something like this had happened when I had that mindset, I would have just been so crushed, absolutely, positively devastated. I posted on Twitter, Snapchat, and Instagram, I'll just insert it right here, just reach out if you need to talk and you need some encouragement, and that's relevant. If y'all want to DM me on Instagram, please do, because I would love to hype you up. And I think the best thing to do in this situation is to gain some perspective. And I say that lightly because I don't mean in the chance of you need to get perspective and stop being upset. But something I've learned is that a perspective shift is one of the best ways to get over disappointment, or to deal with disappointment. I wouldn't say get over, I would say deal with disappointment. Well, just the perspective that it's for the safety of our athletes. Something else too that I kind of thought of and was talking to my mom about is how lucky are we to live in a time where we have the technology to predict and take these precautions. Another encouragement is something that I truly believe in and tell myself all the time, and that wherever you are right now is exactly where you're supposed to be. You are on track for God's plan, I promise. Don't make yourself miserable because of this. Is that heartbreaking? Yes. However, we have no idea what it's gonna look like. We have no idea what Cheer World is gonna look like. Maybe it'll just be postponed for 2 weeks, we have no idea. My advice would be to take it one day at a time and try to have a perspective shift. And I have this printed out and on my bulletin board up there. You can't see it, but I promise it's there. And one of my favorite mottos is always try anyways. Be excited to try. Always keep trying. Don't be well, World isn't happening. Keep trying. Try to do the best that you can do even in these tough circumstances, because that will build you up even more, I promise. So just perspective and mindset are so important during this time. Reach out to your teammates. Keep working. I feel I couldn't fit a whole lot of specific encouragement into this video as much as I wanted to, at least, because I already know this video is super long and I was all over the place. But please, 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 if you need some off-mat talk, some encouragement, reach out. I'll put my Instagram right here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more because I got time, and I'll see y'all in my next one. Bye!